Well, that did it. YouTube TV was trying to tell us all something. Auburn falls to Kentucky 3-10, and the Auburn Tigers, as of now, are not only 4-5 on the season, they have gone 6 whole quarters without scoring an offensive touchdown. Not only is this season been off the rails, it's in a free fall to pure hell, like. And the offense is getting progressively worse. Progressively worse. This is unbelievable. And I think it's time to cut this doggone check, Ike. Time to cut the check. It's time to cut it. What say you, sir?
You know how the girls say it gives you the ick?
That's an understatement. That's an understatement.
This was quite possibly one of the most putrid showings I have seen from an offensive performance since the 3-2 game.
Well, we did score the same amount of points.
We did. And Kentucky got really lucky on the one drive that they scored their touchdown on that wasn't tipped, intercepted, something. But this was awful. Like, I legitimately don't know. I don't think we ran a speed sweep the whole game.
We did not.
The entire game. You brought in a dude who's one of the fastest dudes in America and didn't hand him the ball on the speed sweep once. Not one time. You have quite possibly 2 of the better jump ball receivers in the country, and you didn't throw them a back shoulder throw once. I don't have an explanation.
We saw 2 QB changes.
You ran one screenplay the entirety of the game, which Jackson Arnold overthrew pretty badly to the running back.
Yeah.
I don't have an explanation for you not running the offense that you run in this game. Like, this was absolutely coaching malpractice, sir. This was coaching malpractice. I don't know that I've ever come onto a post game and immediately said this was coaching. There's no other explanation. Now, the offensive line was terrible. But you did nothing to take advantage of the fact that they were just immediately pinning their ears back and going after it. You didn't no screens.
They did something about
direction.
They ran vertical routes. Okay, they did something about that.
I don't even understand what I just watched, man. I don't.
I just gotta laugh to keep from crying, man. This is comedy. This is comedy.
You just lost to the worst team in the conference in a game in which your defense only gave up 10 points.
240 yards they had of offense. You got more yards than they did.
Again, in another game, your defense gives up less than 100 rushing yards, and you can't muster up more than 3. And the only reason you got the 3 you got is because you got put in field goal position by the interception at the beginning of the drive. They crossed midfield, I think twice on their own merits. Now, Kentucky's defense is good against the run. They are. And this is the game you chose to be committed to the run. I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand it. You rushed the ball 40 times in this game.
I don't know. I don't know what to say either. We're going to get to y'all's comments because this is a reaction show. Ike is reacting. I said cut the check. We're about to bring Dustin in from the up tempo. Dustin, you give me the thumbs up when you are ready, my friend, and we'll bring you on, sir. He gave me the thumbs up. Here goes Dustin. Dustin, I don't have a lot of words. Ike said a lot. It's more of the same. It's just falling off the cliff. What happened, sir?
There's got to be a standard at some point. You can't allow Hugh Freeze to be the head coach at Auburn for another day after what we just watched. Fans were filing out of the stadium in a one-possession ball game.
Wait. The fans were literally chanting "Fire Hugh" after that last play. I am not joking.
Yeah, I believe you. I mean, like they should. I don't see any other way for that game to end. So to see, I mean, you could tell, and you could speak more to this, but from what I see online, and you could tell on the broadcast for a night game at Jordan-Hare Stadium, I was pretty dead. And a lot of that's because you scored 3 points and you didn't give the fans anything to cheer about. But this Auburn fan base, man, they show up, they show out, they stay engaged. It looked like tonight they were over it. There's multiple videos online that are going viral of the fans filing out of the stadium of a one-possession game in the fourth quarter. We know how loyal this fan base is. It takes a lot to get Auburn fans there. And that's where it is. So, Hugh Freeze can say we're close until he's blue in the face. Doesn't feel like we're close. Feels like we've never been further away. That was just embarrassing. Jordan-Hare Stadium has become a house of horrors for the Auburn Tigers. You go to SEC Media Days, you hear everybody talk about how they don't want to play there. Oh, we got to go to Auburn this year. That's going to be tough. It'll be tough. You'll have to fight. You're probably not going to blow Auburn out, but you'll come away with a win. Going back to year one, when Auburn got blown out, year one under Hugh Freeze, when Auburn got blown out 31-10 at a night game to New Mexico State, I was told we need to be patient. We need to give this time. So now I sit here in year three after losing 10-3 to Kentucky. And I say, how much more time?
2-5 Kentucky.
How much more time do we need here? Can't protect home. Can't beat Power 4 teams. You're an offensive-minded head coach, and versus the two worst defenses in the SEC, you've managed to put up, one touchdown? It's pathetic, and there are a lot of programs around the country that are showing what their standard is, and I'm not really a guy that's like, because I know Auburn can make moves behind the scenes, right? If Auburn wants to go get another head coach, there's nothing stopping them from calling them. So I'm okay with waiting till the end of the season until I just saw that. You can't allow him to be the head. He cannot hold the position as Auburn's head coach for another day, because at some point there does have to be a standard where you say, no, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. You can't be Auburn's head coach any longer. It can't be your job title after what we just saw, because Auburn football can't be that. Not in year three under a head coach. That's pathetic. That's embarrassing. It's a disgrace to anybody that's ever put on that uniform. It's a disgrace to every Auburn fan that pays money to go to the games to support the programs. It's a disgrace to the people that put the money together to put together a top 10 blue chip ratio roster, and that's what they got. Pathetic and embarrassing, and it cannot be allowed. Hugh Freeze, by 12 p.m. tomorrow, should not be the head coach at Auburn University. And if it goes any longer than that, then I have serious questions about what the standard is for this program moving forward.
Agreed. Let's see what you guys have to say. Oh, look who's here. B. Will. Can we please not surf the good old boy network for a coach this time? Millionaires and billionaires are terrible at picking head football coaches. Hey, B, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. I don't know, B. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't like the decisions they've made, but when you've picked a head coach and he went on to win a national title in Gene Chizik, they probably feel like they know what they're doing. You have to wonder after Hugh, do they take a step back and have a real search? I see you, Ike. Jordan Ingram. YouTube TV did us a favor. Yes, they did. They tried to.
I'm frustrated too.
No, Disney fleeced everybody by making them go and pay for another product just for the day, unless you sign up for a free subscription somewhere just for this game.
Yeah. That too. Definitely not Cohen's burner. Says Ashton Daniels just looked at the sideline in a way that could only be described as disgusted.
What is your direct response to them in this moment?
He should be.
Yeah.
We all are. Harold Greer with a $2 super chat. Is Hugh on, Ike? Ike, actually, just mute yourself and tell me what things he said. Just mute, just listen. Just mute, just listen. I'll read. Okay. All right. Nothing else to say. Oh, there's a lot to say. That's a lot to say, Dustin. I said, I got 3 words. Dustin, you said a lot. All I'm saying is cut the check. I said this with Gus before we blew up. It's time to bring the scissors out and cut that check again.
Offensively, there are 0 excuses for how poorly we're playing at times. What are these times? The last 3 seasons?
That's what he said?
Yeah, Mike just tweeted that from the presser.
TJ Lou says fire freeze. A Deets, good to see you, buddy. 19 with the 1999 says should be fired before he gets to the locker room. It was a joke. He was clearly lost. Absolutely. There was desperation in the rotation of QBs. And you would think that you could put together a decent drive, given that you only had, I think, 4 or 5 possessions in this entire second half. You struggled to even get to to midfield.
You know, you go back to year 1, up until like the 8th or 9th game of the season, you did this whole Robbie package. You tried to do this whole 2 QB system. Eventually, 3/4 of the way through the season, you bailed on that after it like really hurt you in the Ole Miss game that year. Second year, you end up doing the whole Hank Brown thing for a game and a half and going back to Peyton Thorne. And then this year, here you are again, switching back to a backup, then switching back to a starter. I mean, how mismanaged could the QB position be? It's just been a disaster from day one. From the moment he said, I'm naming Peyton Thorne the starter because he's pressing in practice, a.k.a. I'm naming a guy a starter because he's not practicing well.
We should have known.
Yeah, it's been terrible since then. Yeah,
should have known. I turn programs around quickly.
Jesus.
And I do well with quarterbacks. That's what he said at his first press conference.
Big swing and a miss.
Auburn looks like it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
And QB play has definitely gotten worse. Wow. Austin says, fire Hugh. He's absolutely stupid. I'm willing to allow ad hominems at this point. Let's see here. Exclusive TV says fire him immediately. There's nothing left for him to say. You are not the coach that God put here. This is pathetic.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I will be throwing up some prayers to the big man tonight. Myself. Please don't ever let me see that again, Lord.
Definitely not Cohen's burner with the $5 says in the post game, please ask Freeze how he'll spend his buyout. Which golf club will he be buying into?
About to have a lot of time.
He'll have a lot of time on his hands. Tyler Williams says this is my first AU game since New Mexico State. Oh, Tyler, I'm sorry, buddy.
Brutal.
I'm tired. I'm sorry, man. This game was even worse. Tired of being disappointed. I hate it for you. Be safe heading back, man. Darius Lee with 499 says Coach Hugh Freeze has single-handedly made Auburn a consistent bottom feeder in the SEC. Worst Auburn teams ever in my lifetime. I'm 32. This is pitiful. It's one of the worst. There is one that's actually worse than this one, but you thought we were long removed from that type of season, and yet here we are.
The talent is what makes this so bad because it just shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And the defense being as good as it is, it
Yeah.
makes it tough.
Waste of championship defense.
Yeah, man.
Okay, you muted. You muted.
Man, that man sounded like he was been to cry. He basically was like,
we'll be crying tomorrow.
He basically was like, I'd love to ask for more patience, but now this is the fastest I have ever seen this field cleared in my life. Not just people, I'm talking about equipment gone. Like, I've never seen them get this stuff out of here this fast ever. Anyway, he basically was like, I know I want to be able to ask for patience, but I realize that's a hard thing to ask for right now. Like, brother, I think you are in deficit. If you had a bank account, insufficient funds of patience left in that bad boy. I'm looking forward to hearing what Mike's got to say on this one. Get back to the comments. Let the people vent, bro, because I just...
Okay. All right. Thomason says, Howard caught a pass. We're so close. Nick Frazier of the Water Cooler Podcast.
Nick,
thanks for joining on.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I've been better, man.
Man, have we all?
Asking.
Have we all been better?
Thanks for asking, though.
Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy. What was that? What was that? 3 points, ladies and gentlemen? 3 points?
6. Hey, you played Arkansas and Kentucky and came away with 1 touchdown.
Just one.
You haven't scored a touchdown in 6 quarters.
Dustin, what did I say? What did I say after the Texas A&M game?
Yeah, man.
Incompetent. That's what it is, man. This is probably the funniest, most nastiest, most heartbreaking, most just I don't know, man. I have no idea what to say about what we just watched tonight.
Yeah.
I'm speechless, man. I'm speechless about that. That's bad, man.
It's bad. Let's react to these comments. The American Idiot 01 says, bro, not even a touchdown. Not even I thought they would lose to old Stoops. Freeze ain't it. Simple as that. Go ahead and send him packing tonight. Yeah. That's the sentiment. NH3425 says, I am throwing up.
Hey, I threw up on the 4th and 6 call where we threw it deep to Preston Howard in the end zone. I threw up all over the living room. I said, oh, my God.
Oh, man. Jesus.
Yeah. AD says Hugh must really only want to go and take his money. Not sure what else that was. You just wants the buyout. Give me the buyout so I can retire.
What's that team?
Robert Guy says Auburn sure has a good retirement plan. We can hire Urban Meyer tomorrow, please. Darius Lee says we are in fact not close. Well, it depends on. I think we're closer to a resolution with this current coaching staff, right? I think we're closer there, but as far as on the field goes, no, we're definitely not close. At least not offensively. Lance Morgan says his 4th quarter interview, I knew we were losing. That's when you knew? It was crystal freaking clear.
So I
early
guess,
in this game that this was a wash.
I guess he said it again, guys. He said, I still believe we're really close. So my question to that is, well, you won last week. You had a second half comeback last week, and you sold it like we finally found a way to win one. Like maybe we got over the hump. And now a week later, we're back to being close. How does that work?
Say he freeze math. That's that Coach Hugh freeze math.
Yeah. Let's see here. Mike, are you ready? Mike gives me the thumbs up. I'm bringing you in, good brother. Mike G. Sir. What happened?
Well, I just came from the press conference. The funniest question I think that's been asked this year said, "Hey, Coach, you win games by scoring touchdowns. What are you guys going to do to score more of them?" that was a real question. And he went into a long, complicated answer about the quarterbacks getting the ball out of their hands and whatnot. Guys, at the end of this game, the thousands of people stayed after the game, and you would think Auburn won and they were celebrating. They stayed to chant "Fire Hugh" at the top of their lungs. I don't remember it being this bad during the Hartson era, but, you know, there were a lot of questions about just what went wrong. And, you know, he did say the famous phrase of the season, "We're close, we're close." You know, there was a question that was asked about, you know, what do you say to the fans? And he said, "Look, man, I don't know if it's appropriate to ask for patience, and we're probably not going to get that, but, you know, he still thinks that there's a route to them getting this fixed." When ultimately, this comes down to two things, guys: quarterback play and the offensive line. The offensive line performed poorly tonight, and quarterback play has been subpar. Now, when they switched out Ashton Daniels for Jackson Arnold late, you said that was because they were struggling to protect, and Jackson was a little bit more elusive in the pocket when they decided to go to him to see if he could give them a spark. But it wasn't really because of Ashton. It was because of how poorly the offensive line was playing. I think I can buy that explanation ultimately.
Pause. Think about what you just said. The guy who has taken more sacks than any Auburn quarterback in like the last 10 years, he thinks is more elusive in the pocket. I'll continue offline.
Yeah. Thank you for that addition there. So it's been, you know, like I said, there's a lot of frustration there. I can tell you the media is completely out on Hugh Freeze. They're out. You know, those guys down there and guys who were, I would call Hugh Freeze homers, are just, I mean, they've turned on him. And I can't say I blame them. When he got hired, he claimed to be adept at two things: turning programs around quickly and developing quarterbacks. And I can safely say and confidently say those two things have not happened 3 years in. So you are staring down the possibility of missing a bowl game. Here, if you lose to Vanderbilt and you lose to Alabama and you can only beat Mercer down the stretch, you're not going to a bowl game for a second year straight. That is unacceptable for the level of talent that they have on this team. And, you know, 2 years ago when he was blaming the talent for the losses, I said there's something bigger than the talent gap going on here in the way that they are developing kids. And people cursed at me, and they started message board threads, and they were like, "This my guy just hates you, Freeze." And now we're in year 3, and those same people are chanting "Fire Hugh." There's something deeper going on here, guys. And I'm telling you, I have a hell of a story to tell the minute John Cohen puts pen to paper and says, "This is your pink slip." Because this has been ongoing for a year and a half. The problems that are underlying with this program. The story has to be told. And I have held back out of respect for the people who played in this and shared with me. But I have a feeling that if and when he is fired, you're going to hear them speak out about it as well, too. So I won't be the only one telling it.
Yeah. Mike, I just to me, it seemed like the season ended tonight. And a lot of fans was like, hey, you beat Arkansas, beat Kentucky. Hey, there's a possibility you can be competitive on the road against Nashville. No one cares. No one cares anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's when are we turning the page on this coaching staff is what it seems like. And the chance that you heard fire Hugh, that has to reflect that.
Yeah, look, I essentially have been just gathering the information behind the scenes for a while now. And, fundamentally, there are things wrong with their process offensively.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure if Hugh Freeze is the guy to fix it. I know that he's gotten everything he's asked for. He's gotten the NIL support. He's gotten the fan support. Guys, it was an incredible environment.
Sold out game. Another sold out
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, man. I mean, for a 4-4 football team, it was crazy in here. 50 minutes before kick, every seat was filled. You guys saw last week the video we played 20 minutes before kick at the Arkansas game. It looked like an 8A game 3 hours before. It was packed in here from sign to sign, from scoreboard to scoreboard. So, look, I mean, the run game didn't work tonight. There were a lot of things that Kentucky wasn't good at that Auburn let them be good at tonight. This defense only gave up 10 points, and you lost. So, they couldn't move the ball very effectively tonight. I didn't get it. I went down on the field for the final quarter, so I didn't get a chance to look at the final stat totals. But I can't imagine that Auburn had more than 300 yards of offense in this game.
They didn't.
Yeah, like
248.
They actually had more yards than Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, the defense played like that. They're playing at a championship level. It's actually insane how well they're playing. They came up with turnover after turnover. It's too bad that the guy intercepted the pass wasn't able to hold on to the ball on the return. But even if he had, I don't know that they would have done anything with it.
Yeah.
So, there were some unfavorable calls to Auburn tonight. There was some pass interferences. I felt like they kind of swallowed the whistle on a lot of things. But ultimately, even with all that, your floor can't be no touchdowns in the game. Not with Cam Coleman, not with Perry Thompson. And everyone who says, if we get rid of Hugh Freeze, we're going to be starting over with players. You may be facing that anyway.
Right.
That's how bad the culture is offensively. There are some very unhappy superstars in that locker room offensively right now, and getting rid of Hugh Freeze might actually be the cure to keeping them at this point.
Yeah.
Promise you got to. If you're John Cohen, you got to take the temperature of this team, and you have to promise these guys some sort of change.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, they're playing in it, and they're playing hard. We talk about the defense, but offensively, it's not that they're not playing hard. It's not that they're not trying. It's not an effort issue, in my opinion.
Right.
They're being poorly prepared, and the game plans are poor.
Yeah.
And it's reflective of the process through the week. A former Auburn player told me, he said, Mike, this is about what happens January to July. So much time is wasted in the offseason by this coaching staff. That's a very poignant and telling comment to me. So, and the player that told me that, he's not nobody. And he would know. So I'm disappointed for the players. I'm disappointed for the fans that showed up tonight and paid their hard-earned money to drive here and buy concessions and buy tickets and sit in the stands and yell as loud as they could. They had it around mid-third quarter. You started to hear boos come down, fire Hugh chants go out. Wow, man, I don't remember it being this bad when Harston was here. If that tells you anything.
Yeah.
It makes you think, right? Like if they had given Harston the support that they gave Hugh, what would he have done here? In his first year, he was 6-2 headed into November when his quarterback got hurt.
I'm just going to say he scores more than 3 points against Kentucky.
I'm telling you.
Agree.
He took Robbie Ashford and up against LSU, and Robbie threw for 337 yards. This is I mean, I don't, we followed that coaching staff closely. At the end of spring, that coach sat down with every single player on his team and their position coach to do an evaluation after the spring. This coach doesn't do anything near that, and he doesn't have a relationship with his players. We did firesides. We asked the players, we said, hey, tell us about your relationship with Coach Freeze. What are some Hugh Freeze-isms? Looking for some cutesy answers. They were like, we don't know. We don't talk to him. He's always recruiting. What? You got to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. Hugh Freeze has lost the privilege to coach this program without extreme oversight from the money people. That's exactly what's happened here, because you know what? If they keep him, which I can't imagine that he makes it to Monday, but if he does, they're going to tell him, you got to fire this person, you got to fire that person. He failed to do that after Texas A&M. Somebody should have been fired. Your offensive line coach. Look, man, I never advocated for anybody to lose their job, but accountability. Where is the accountability? You're saying that we're failing to prepare kids. Well, who's failing to prepare them? Your coaches under your direction. So if it's not them, it's you. Accountability, man.
Hey,
Cam Coleman, a top 5 overall player in all of college football. And we are wasting him. He should be top 3 in the league in receiving right now.
yeah.
I see all the comments here. How did we get here? We got here because they used the same tired methodology in hiring coaches, because there was alignment and he fit and he talks the good old boy talk. Forget that. In today's college football, you need somebody like Nick Saban who can come in and say, write your checks and sit down and shut the F up and let me coach my program. So you got to win. Yeah, go out and get John Summerall to come here and get out of his way. That's my vote.
Hey, Mike, here's what I want you to do. I need you to take care of yourself. We need you in the morning, because I do not see a world where Hugh Freeze is still here. I could be wrong about that.
I don't know. John Cohen wasn't at the presser again. But
if he's still the coach, Mike. Okay, they playing with the money now. They playing with the money.
What else you need to see? They're
playing with the money.
Look what Vandy and Texas. Look at that game. That was a tight game with 2 well-coached football teams. You got Vandy up next.
Oh God!
You think this Auburn team is going to beat that team? I think the defense will do to them what they've done to everybody else. But if the floor is no fucking touchdowns on that field right there behind me, you ain't gonna beat shit. No touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, YouTube. Please forgive me one curse word.
See, and that's me. I'm trying to send you home so you can get home and get some rest for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I'm gonna take this one in on the ride home, fellas. It was a disappointing result tonight. I think the fans made their voice heard tonight from the stands. They have talked to you, John Cohen, and said, this is not acceptable. We demand change. He gave Hugh every single excuse he could possibly give him, talking about a rebuild and replacing this player or that player. And in this day and age, you've gotten to year 3, and I can honestly say this program has regressed offensively every single year. They blamed Peyton Thorne for everything under the sun. And Peyton got here and he was a worse quarterback than he was at Michigan State. And I tried to tell people 1,000 yards of regression from one school to another, that's not about the player. That's about the system. No, Peyton was terrible. He was this, he was that. No, he was a better than average quarterback that was fighting against the system that he couldn't overcome. Now you have guys younger and less experienced than him that are coming into this, and they're unable to do it too. Stop blaming the players. All right, I'm done.
We'll see you tomorrow, bro. Listen, I need that same energy. That's what I'm saying. Get you some rest. I need that same energy tomorrow.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
may be telling some stories tomorrow. So we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see what he gives us. I'm gonna see if I can find John around here. He's probably somewhere.
Oh, go
throwing
find
back
him,
shots of
please.
tequila. Yeah.
Yeah. Take the temperature. Appreciate you, man.
All right. War Eagle guys.
War Eagle. All right. I'm gonna see if I can get off for you on here. All right. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's get to the chats. We're behind. Exclusive TV says we got 6 offensive linemen that can be drafted in quotes. Can somebody help me find them, please? I'm begging you. Nope. Okay. Ben Bloodworth says Freeze won tonight. He won generational wealth and a lavish retirement. His playbook was run to perfection. I like how your cap is tilted to the. I like that. That's pretty funny. Robert says if Coach Hugh Freeze had any integrity, he would resign. Instead, he will force Auburn to write him a check. What a disgrace. Oh no, he definitely ain't resigning. He getting that bread before he walk out of here. Anthony Long says sometimes we just have to accept the red flags when we see them. One touchdown against Arkansas was a red flag. Oh, there are plenty of red flags before this.
31-10 to New Mexico State. Big one.
He was pressing.
Big red flag.
That started him because he was pressing.
So being the highest
against Maryland.
Many do not know that you get that.
Against Maryland, I was out recruiting.
In the bowl game.
So we're gonna play all the greatest hits tonight, huh?
Oh my God!
Yeah, we didn't really have a game plan for the bowl game.
Yeah, the bowl game.
Appreciate all 30, 40,000 of you Auburn fans that drove up to Nashville and thought we would have a game plan
Your
for you.
only bowl game that you will ever coach at Auburn, and you was out recruiting.
Oh man!
In hindsight, that was freaking. It was bad at the time. But my God. My God, that was a red flag. That was a bloody maroon color. You know how it gets so bloody, it just turns like dark. That was a red flag. All right. Sorry. Went on the tangent. Rick Cazenave says Coach Hugh Freeze equals Coach Simple, Jack of the SEC. We are very close. What a clown show. $6 million simpleton. Rick, how do you really feel? Rick? Love your comments, though. NH3425 says, remember when Jordan-Hare was a huge home field advantage? Now we got lesser teams beating us at home. Pretty much what you said, Dustin, earlier. Unbelievable.
Pathetic.
Pretty much what you said, almost verbatim. Justin Wardan Brown says Hugh just saved Stoops' job. Maybe.
I don't play golf. What color are the flags out there on the golf green?
Yellow.
Oh, maybe that's why he doesn't know what a red flag looks like.
Some of
like
them
that
white,
one.
too. Some of them are white flags too.
Definitely pays it. He's not waving that one. He's not waving. We are. Not him. Ty K says, follow the LSU script with the exception of Kay Ivey picking our next coach. Then again, could she make any worse a pick? I don't know, man. It can't be Hugh. Somebody please screen print Ike. The looks of frustration Ike has been giving us has been classic. NH3425 says no red zone TD since the third quarter versus Mizzou.
Oh boy.
Yeah, none of us have words. None of us have anything for this. Definitely not Cohen's burner. Says 4 and 8. So we're not winning another game as far as he's concerned. And at this point, that's not a stretch. Ben Bloodworth, member for 49 months, man. Thank you for rocking with us for so long. Free should be fired for a cause for dereliction of duty. Yeah. We got a lot to talk about. Stu dies a lot says, well, you were right. Whoever got 10 first was going to win. Did anyone actually think we'd pull it off in the end? I thought
they didn't go 3 and out on the last drive. Improvement. And it didn't end in a sack. Improvement. They're close.
It ended in an interception.
But it didn't end in a sack.
But he didn't. Yes, he threw the ball. He got the ball out this time.
It didn't end in a
Great
sack.
point.
He got the ball out this time.
That's a great point. Was he doing with anticipation?
He anticipated that somebody would catch it.
Oh man.
Okay. Now
man.
we'll work on what happens after the throw next week because we're close. All right.
We almost there, man. Almost there.
Hang on. Hold what you got. I
must be close.
Mike Davis says, bye, Friesleisha. Bye, Friesleisha. Open the book. Summerall, Kiffin, I don't care who. Can't be worse than this. No excuse, none. At least Hugh Freeze won't have to lose to Pavia again. Yeah. Would it be petty to keep him just for that loss so he can lose to him for a third straight time?
That is torture to the Auburn fans, bro.
Then fire him for the bye week.
I can't do 20 minutes of him at the podium on Monday.
It's a road game.
Who you tell it? Who you tell it, Dustin? Bro. Jesus, who you tell it?
No.
Y'all, he might as well just show up and just play what he said at the last press conference. He's been saying the same thing for like the past.
Just roll out like a TV, how they used to when we were in school back in the day.
Yeah. That exact same look like TV as well on the little black cart.
Yep. Outdated like his offense.
Brent Shields, in all of this frustration, became a member. Salute to you, sir. God bless you. AU Templin says fire Freeze and Thornton. Hire DJ as the interim. Bring in T. Will and Pittman. Sub them out, huh? All right. Wes Cook says, can we sick the eagle on? Wes, that was good. That was pretty funny because the visual you gave me. Thank you, sir. Annan Rush says, is it time to admit that Hugh, like how you spelled that, is the worst head coach than Harsin? I think we've low-key been kind of hinting at this for a minute now. Yeah. It's a coach, head coach, better recruiter, leaps and bounds. But boy, that's where the positives end. Once you get out of recruiting, it's downhill. Gabriel Roper says, hope Deuce doesn't say, nah, I'm out after this. Well, who's going to tell him?
Yeah. I want Deuce to reach his potential and succeed as a football player. I don't think he's going to do that at Auburn as long as Hugh Freeze is the head coach.
Yeah. Okay. SW3090 says, please tell me the Charles Kelly rumor is BS. I think it's BS, but we just never know, right? Just never know. Travis Wilson says, I want Hugh, Kent Austin, Derek Nix, and Jake. Go ahead and throw the tight end coach in there.
I'm about to say that list ain't long
Go ahead
enough.
and throw a tight end coach in there. I mean,
you
you can't leave him. I mean, you can make an argument to keep Nix because of the running backs, but you can't send them all and leave the tight ends coach. I don't think. But I feel you. These guys are enabling this horrible decision making and play calling. Can't argue with that. Wardank Eagle says the quarterback is the quarterback is dead. Long live the quarterback. Yeah, I don't. Someone has to fix QB play at Auburn. It has not been good. Colton Beebe says now we await the Deuce Knight decision. Biggest domino for the future of the program. This roster may look very different if he decides to move on.
Listen, man, you're just gonna have to embrace the fact that a lot of these guys are gonna leave, and there's gonna be a big reset. Like it is what it is. But
like
so
with most coaching searches,
yeah, you can't. You're not gonna keep them. Like,
but here's the thing, guys. You're not the only program hitting the reset button that's going to be subject to this. LSU is going to be subject to this. Florida is going to be subject to this.
Yep.
Like it's not like Auburn. It's not like it's happening in a vacuum for Auburn. A lot of schools are going to have to deal with this. Players are going somewhere, and depending on who you bring in, will go a long way towards this reset that we're about to see. Auburn fans want better, and for better, you can't get to better without resetting where we are right now. So it has to happen. You just got to roll with it. I am Mostella says, has anyone suggested that we fire Hugh yet?
I mean, I think about 3,000 or 4,000 Auburn fans right after the game did.
Well, if you're just tuning in, I am Mostella. Strong suggestions. Strong suggestions. A Dietz says, wish I would have stayed with YouTube TV so I wouldn't have to watch that crap. Sometimes the Lord just
He definitely tried to get y'all to dodge that bullet, and you stepped right back in front of it.
That's funny.
It's because he loves us. You know what I mean? He won't put on more on us than we can bear. And he tried to avoid it with YouTube, but no, we just had to watch it. Now look at us. Big Gap says, I bet Freeze says we're so close. He did. Yep, he did. It happened. And it will continue to happen. I am the King 334 says, Dustin said 12 p.m. tomorrow. I say the next 30 minutes.
My boy, he might have a text message waiting on him the minute he leaves that locker room that says, hey, I need to see you real quick. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it might be that. Like Mike was talking about how Cohen wasn't at the presser. He might have been drafting paperwork, bro.
Yeah. Brent Shields says Rhett Ashley.
I think he meant Lashley, but all right. Rhett just got to re-up on his contract. I doubt it.
I would like for Rhett to stay at SMU, and I'm happy that he had a huge upset over Miami today. Congrats to him. But we'll see. Sambino X says defense is good and offense is historically bad. Yeah. So Nina says Coach Hugh Freeze is not an offensive-minded coach.
I think you could have taken offensive-minded out of there, and this sentence still would have worked.
You could just say Coach Hugh Freeze is not, and that sentence would have still worked. He's
fill in
not.
the blank.
He's just not.
Let's do a Mad Lib on it.
Brent Shields says Rhett Lashley. He wants Rhett Lashley. Oda Smith wants Gruden. Guys, why do people still call for Gruden?
Because he has NFL coaching experience and won a Super Bowl.
Interesting.
I'm saying I agree with it, but I'm just saying I understand why.
But
He
they've
has a
been
massive
yelling his
social media
name.
following. It's very
They've been
popular
yelling his
all
name for years, and no one has picked him up. Do you think that could be a reason for that?
I mean, there are reasons, but
Oh, got it. Okay. Philip Coleman says in my Suge Knight voice, if you're a coach and want to make a bag in a couple of seasons, not worry about actually coaching, come to Auburn. Come to Death Row. God, I hope that's not the sale. Robert Guy says Hugh is soft as baby crap, and the energy of the team reflects that same energy. Chase Patterson says Vandy lost today. They will be.
I think he was going for Piss next week.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Piss too next week. We're cooked. Hashtag we're cooked. I mean, Vandy could have won and still be cooked. But I feel you, Chase. Thanks for being here. NH3425 says we won't score on Vandy and Bama. Well,
Mercer Bears plays good defense too.
FCS national champions last year.
Al Roper says we would have saved money and had better results if we kept the potato. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know, dog. Sambino X says Auburn versus Mercer will be on Tubi. Darius Lee. Auburn is everyone's get right. Oh, God. Oh.
If you call that getting right by Kentucky, I don't know, but they definitely.
Oh, gosh. They must be watching another game there.
The World Series.
The World Series.
Yeah.
So Nina says someone needs to ask Cohen how much longer is AU fan base expected to support this pitiful excuse of a head coach. Thank you for being here, So Nina. Whenever you see Cohen again, A Deets says gotta love Ike's bust in and out. Well done, sir. Pause. I did it for you, Ike. Ornam ATL says I was there at the Arkansas game that Harsin got canned. Can confirm there were no fire Harsin chants. There it is. Cleveland Brown says Mike G, how did we get here? Mike definitely responded to that. Darius Lee says Mike G, big mad, can't blame him though. Alex Wilson says done with Hugh Freeze. I had hope. Now there is no hope. I have it for the players and recruiting. He just doesn't have it anymore. Give Daniels the whole game. Yeah. Let's see here. AU Templin says he asked for 3 and he's gotten 3 and failed with 3. Bye. Yep, he did ask for 3. Dustin Pace says I've genuinely never been so frustrated in my time watching this team. Please, there needs to be a call for his job from everyone covering this team, Summerall or Eric Morris. If Hugh is coach, if Hugh is still a coach, fire Cohen. Hugh is a coward. Dustin let his feelings be known. Brent Shields, just in case. I love the variations of his name. Now it's Red Lashley, but he's still saying Red Lashley. NH3425 says AU offense playing chess with checker pieces. Yeah. There we go. Brent Shields says now you got it. Red Lashley. Appreciate that. AD says time for a celebration. Marcellian 18 for Hugh being fired in the next 24 hours. Yeah. Yeah, it's rough for him. I think he knows. Like I'm going to watch this presser, guys, and just kind of see how deflated he looks.
Mhm.
Chase Patterson says another red flag. He is pressing in practice, so I named him the starter. Yep. Justin Wardam Brown says I don't give an F if Hugh was in Cohen's wedding. Fire him. He wasn't, but yes, got it. Travis Latham, member for 32 months, just hoping at this point these kids will still give AU a chance because so far they have failed them. War Eagle. It's anyone's guess right now what happens with these kids, y'all.
I doubt that happened.
Yeah. Dustin Payne says Eric Morris, top scoring offense in the country with a guy that didn't start varsity high school. Hugh can't score more than 3 with 2 5-star QBs. Fire the boosters too at this point.
We don't want your money no more.
Yeah. Let's see here. Todd Dickinson says, can anyone confirm that Cohen's car started after? I think it's on blocks.
That's good. That's a good one.
I think that car's on blocks at this point, buddy.
That's a good one. That's a good
that's
one.
pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That was a good one, Todd. Riley Mobley says, charlatan, one making usually showy pretenses to knowledge or ability. Fraud, faker, see Hugh Freeze. I have yet to see anyone come in and say, hey, guys, or make a plea for Hugh. Yet to see it. Exclusive TV says, I see why B. Will checked out after last year. You've been paying attention, have you, Exclusive TV? Because he definitely checked out after last year. Kind of midway through last year, actually. AU Templin says, splash hire Cliff Kingsbury, has college experience and now has been successful in the NFL. Those guys usually rarely want to come back and do the recruiting, especially in this league. But
they ain't got to recruit no more, see?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's
No, I'm saying as a college coach, they really don't have to recruit like that no more.
No.
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
Yeah, you get that bag right, you let Will Redmond do his job.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. Benji says route trees taking too long for our O-line. The route trees didn't make no sense in this game at all, guys.
Well,
4th and 6, guys were running 10 plus yards down the field.
It's only 3 routes.
Yeah.
Stick route, curl route, and a 9 route. That's it.
Stop and go too. Stop and go.
Stop and go. Stop and goes. Stuttering goes, curl routes, and hitches at instead of going 12 to 10, we can go 10 to 8. Instead of going 12 to 10, we can go 10 to 8. Not get to the sticks, but hey.
Like throwing that comeback across the field too.
Boy, we suck. That's boy, we suck, man. Yeah, bro. So
SMT.
Laugh at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry later. SMT says pretty sure after the night, even Jesus don't want Hugh Freeze coaching this team. Yeah, man. Definitely not Coa's burner. Gifted 5 Warport memberships. Thank you, good sir. Tony Baker 747 says maybe they'll let Alston release Hugh for not meeting team expectations. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Cleveland Brown says there was never a freeze warning, not even frost on the windshield with Hugh being here. No, it's been like 50 degrees. You know, a few clouds in the sky, but no freeze. No, nothing froze. The offense is on ice, but you know. Travis Wilson says Alex Golish, that's USF's coach, right?
Yeah.
Or Eric Morris are both better coaches than Hugh Freeze. Thomason says, name Bruce head coach and how many of them stay just to run through brick walls for him. I'm curious to see what happens.
No, Bruce said we're close last time he spoke on football.
You know, he's been quiet lately.
Yeah, I think he wasn't quite prepared for the backlash he received from that.
Yeah, stay out of that one.
Yeah, he stepped his foot in it. Definitely not. Cohen's Burner says this isn't a blow on cartridge reset. We got to send this red ring back to Microsoft. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love the video game references here. AD says McCollin 18. Who we're going to get after Hugh? Who can we really get? We're not going to have y'all on. Dustin, Nick, what are your thoughts? Like, who are you seeing out there who's intriguing? You're not necessarily saying that Auburn should get this person, but who have you seen that, you know, if they got this person, I wouldn't be upset?
Man, there's a lot of guys. Some of them have been mentioned tonight. You know, I know Summerall is the popular name. It's the name that you hear.
Yeah.
A lot of people kind of bring it up. He's got ties, obviously, in Alabama, being from Huntsville, and got ties in the SEC, played linebacker at Kentucky. So I think that'd be a good fit based off of what we know about him. And, you know, this is the thing, too, that really gets on my nerves. And I don't want to go too far down this road tonight, but so everybody was like, yeah, Summerall's a good fit. And then they lose to Texas San Antonio. And now everybody's like, no, not after that. Like, wait, so he was supposed to win every game, or then he wasn't going to be a good candidate for Auburn? I don't understand quite how that works. One loss, two loss. If he loses more games, that doesn't mean if the people in charge that are making the decisions think he's a good candidate and he can lead Auburn forward, then they need to make that hire.
Right.
But, you know, that's the name that's out there. Goalish, I like what he's built at USF. That game versus Memphis, he really had some like game mismanagement in the fourth quarter. Really had some time management mistakes. And go back to that Vandy game last year, Hugh taking that timeout with 2:02 on the clock, and then saying after the game that he forgot there was a 2-minute warning. That kind of watching that USF game versus Memphis a couple weeks ago and watching him like kind of take his team out the ball game with clock mismanage it, that scared me. There's a lot of names out there, man. Eli Drinkwitz is a great choice. James Franklin's out there. Like right now, based off of where this is at, there's a million names out there that could be better than this. And there's a lot of guys in the NFL that I don't think would have wanted to come be coaches 4 or 5 years ago in college. That I think now might need to reconsider that. You know, you look at a guy like Joe Brady, who had that great year at LSU in 2019, and then he left because he didn't want to do the recruiting. And in the time that he's left because he didn't want to recruit, the recruiting in college football has fundamentally changed. There's in-home visits I guess they're still a thing, but they're not what they used to be. They used to be this whole thing. In-home Hugh. When Auburn hired Hugh Freeze, in-home Hugh was the whole thing. And then, hey, he's going to go in there and he's going to close. And he did it. He did it with Kay and Lee. He did it with Keldrick Falk. He did it with Connor Liu. But guess what? Just in this short amount of time, it's changed. Now, when you're checking with sources, you want to find out about a recruit. You know what I get back every time? Let me know. I'll get back with you, buddy, after they have their meeting with On to Victory. That's the main thing, man. You got to have the bag ready, and you need to have proof of concept. And what Hugh got away with not having proof of concept because he was in that honeymoon phase, because he had the patience phase, because he had the time to say, hey, Harsin didn't recruit well here. I didn't have a lot of talent, and give me the time. So he was given the time. He was given all the resources. Here's what I'll say, C, and I'll finish here. The thing that I like about where Auburn is in this situation is I do think that Auburn has its ducks in a row for the most part behind the scenes. Is it like great? Is it perfect? Probably not, but it's certainly not what's going on at LSU. And no one can say that Hugh Freeze wasn't given every resource that was available. They gave him everything he wanted and more. $100 million football facility, NIL funds to go out and get top 10 class after top 10 class. Portal, you wanted this money to go get Jackson Arnold? Here it is. You want this money to go get the top tackle and Xavier Chaplin? Here it is. They gave him everything. So if you make the right hire, look at Texas A&M. They made the right hire. Look at them now. Year 2, look at them now. Auburn has all the resources in place. If they make the right hire, this thing can be off and rolling in a year or two. It's that simple. But this guy's not the right hire. That's abundantly clear.
Before I get Nick's answer, it's very rare that Mike jumps into the car unless he has something to tell me.
Oh man, guys, I wasn't ready to be off that live. Can you guys hear me? Okay? Am
Yeah.
I coming through okay? Yeah. I wasn't ready to be off of that. I have to tell you, like, my heart goes out to these kids.
Yeah.
I do. I saw a bunch of them outside the player gate where the families come out after the game, and man, they looked empty. They looked like somebody took their soul from them. And it's unfortunate because you're in a place where all the ingredients are there, but the chef can't cook. That's all that is. The chef can't cook.
Yeah.
They've got. I mean, this is. John Cohen has been too quiet. He's been too quiet the last 2 or 3 weeks. We need to hear from you, brother. We need to hear what the plan is. What is his tone right now? What is he thinking? Because if we're to expect that we should trust him with another head coaching hire, why should we do that? Why should we trust you to hire another head coach? The function of the AD is to hire and fire head coaches. That's it. No AD was ever fired because they hired the wrong women's basketball coach. None. Zero. It's football. It's football or bust. So why should we trust this coach, this AD, to hire another coach? He defended Hugh Freeze, talking about the play, and I'm upset about all the things that I've heard that are actually going on with this program, because I'm like, are you not hearing it? Because I've been hearing it for over a year. Caesar, how has he not been hearing it?
He has to know.
You got to know. You have to know that this thing is fundamentally flawed at its foundation. I don't understand. I don't understand how he cannot. So Auburn needs a tune-up in a lot of places, from the administration on down, and it's seeped its way into other programs. They fired Johnny Harris when she was cooking with nothing. Nothing. She had no ingredients, no NIL, no support. But you've given this man every opportunity to do less than his predecessor. And we celebrated it because, look at recruiting. What? Something's wrong in that administration back there. Too many people with agendas that don't know what the hell they're doing. And they're not paying attention to the thing they should be paying attention to, the student athletes. He should be polling these athletes right now. Kind of like a rate your professor. Remember, we all went to college. We get that survey after. How's he doing? The professors knew you can't flunk all your students, because if you do, you suck at teaching. Who's developing on offense?
But Mike, they have alignment though.
I'm sick of that word. What does that even mean? What does that even mean, guys? I jumped on because I really wanted to just vent. Like this, I'm fanning out right now. I'm just telling you, like, I'm on the verge of an epic crash out.
Oh, please don't.
Because of what we're seeing. Like an epic crash out. This is bad. It's terrible. I don't know that this is the epitome of rock bottom.
Yeah.
How did we get here? How did we get here and nobody noticed? Nobody took stake in the main stakeholders, which are the athletes.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all what's going to happen. If they pull the trigger, you're going to see a flood of former athletes going to social media to tell their stories about this coach and this coaching staff. I've listened to their stories and I've just took stock in it, and I'm like, all right, you know what? And every time you hear something, you corroborate it, right? Maybe this is just one disgruntled situation. Let me talk to some other players and see what they think. So I talked to them. And I'm like, wait, hold on. There's too many people saying the same thing for it not to have some truth. Someone sent me, when the story started breaking about Hugh playing golf, Caesar, like somebody sent me a screenshot of Hugh's wife's account. And apparently he was logging his golf game under her account in season. How the hell do you have time to play golf in season while your football team is struggling? Explain that to me. And that's not even the worst thing. Brad Larondo, who was the director of football operations under Brian Harsin, put it to me this way. He said, Mike, it's 1,000 hours of work in the offseason for 40 hours of football in the fall. That's what our student athletes are training for every single day. So that they can be successful for 40 hours. What the hell were you doing all offseason if you can't score a single touchdown in a Power 4 football game? Not one. What did you do? Every quarterback that has hit the field for Auburn has been objectively worse at some point during their career year than they were before they got here. How is that possible? All of them underperformed. So we can't say it was this guy or it was that guy. A lot of y'all owe Peyton Thorne an apology. He may not have been the game breaker, but you didn't need a game breaker. You needed a game-breaking plan. I'm not sure they have it. They are actively not doing things that other programs do to win, and they're pretending like they're not doing them and saying we're close. What? I don't understand how a guy who claims to develop QBs doesn't show up to QB meetings. Make that make sense for me. Make that make sense for me. Okay, and of course, I cooperated with other players and other programs. Does your head coach show up to QB meetings? Yes, 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 Mike, yes, Mike, yes, Mike. This coach doesn't. So I'm going to take you all the way back to 4th and 2 at Georgia. And there's confusion between the QB and the coach because he wasn't in the fucking meeting when they talked about the play. And then he called it.
Yep.
And everybody blamed Peyton. Jarquez was confused at the mesh. Nobody knew what the hell was going on because you called a play that you didn't practice during the week. And you know who caught it? The QB did! I don't get it. This is coaching malpractice. And that's just one story. I got like 20 of them. I don't get it. I don't understand how the AD doesn't know this stuff. When they fired Johnny Harris, they went behind her back and tried to talk to players and do all this stuff to get her out of town. Yet they're not talking to the football players to find out what's happening in their program. No player wants to turn on their coach. None. Zero. No matter how wrong they think he is, they are not going to speak out publicly against him. They're just not going to do it. You have to go looking for those answers. I'm upset because I feel like they're not looking. But they all have a story to tell. You know, I ran into, in the stands tonight, I don't know if you guys saw my social media, I ran into Michael Riley Ducker.
Oh, wow.
Really?
He was in the stands back in town because his undefeated Texas A&M Aggies are on a bye week. And the guy who's starting in front of him at Texas A&M was here with him tonight at the game. Micah looked happy and encouraged, and he, like, you know, he may not be starting, but he feels like they have a plan. And he understands what's happening, and the guy in front of him is playing well, and they're undefeated. I'm not sure that they're a more talented team than Auburn is. But they're certainly a better coach team than Auburn is right now. He's bought in. We ignored that kid and acted like he couldn't. Every time he hit the field for Auburn, he scored a touchdown. And you just let him walk out the door and tell me how you feel about tight end play right now.
Goodness gracious.
Tell me how you feel about tight end play right now when we let Michael Riley just walk out the door. Talking about he's not giving enough effort in practice. He's the best blocker we had. And he could catch, and he's fast, and he's big. He was a monster. We just let him go. How come everybody else could see it but you? The stuff they were telling this kid, I just not understand. But you know what? He didn't want to mess up his opportunity at somewhere else. So kept his mouth shut, kept his head down, and he probably should have left a year earlier than he did. I was happy to see him happy tonight. But I was upset that he couldn't do that here. And again, that's just one story. Once they start to see it, they're like, I'm out of town. Now I'm going to take you to Damari Alston's decision to redshirt. Explain. I challenge somebody to tell me they don't understand why Damari did what he did. It wasn't just about not getting enough carries. It was about fundamentally what's wrong with this system. And he was bought in as anybody. But once he sees it, he can't unsee it. So he decided, you know what? Instead of wasting another year of eligibility and a season that's going to ultimately mean nothing, I'm going to redshirt. And you know what, Coach? I'll practice with the team. I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'm going to take a redshirt. And people went to social media and they called him a quitter and they called him names and they called him all this stuff. And you just lost to Kentucky. Tell me you don't understand why he made the decision. He lives that, man. He understands that there's something fundamentally wrong with how they evaluate and they develop, and he decided that he was done. Now, I'm going to take you to Deuce Knight, who has been proclaimed the future of Auburn football, but somehow seems nowhere near the field. Not in practice, not in games, not in walkthroughs, nothing. And I'm telling you, if he walks out the door, there's a whole lot of players walking with him. You got to get ahead of this, man. You can't keep kicking the can down the road on this coaching decision. You need to make a decision, and you need to sell it to the players. We're sorry, guys. We're going to fix this. We're going to get you guys an offensive guru. We're going to keep your defensive coordinator, and we're going to do a lot better next year because all the pieces are there. You guys are all good. And in one off season with a competent coaching staff, we can make this happen. That has to be the message to the players. That's how you keep this roster together. That and a whole lot of effing NIL. Give it to them. Man, it's so sad, man. Cam Coleman, he's from the crib. That kid graduated from the same high school that I walked up and down, with the same hallways I walked up and down for 4 years. And I graduated high school with his father. And when he chose Auburn, I was like, wow. We got Cam Coleman. We finally got a star wide receiver prospect out of Phoenix City that's number 25 minutes down the road. He should be the best receiver in this conference right now. We can't get him the ball. Everything that he's done on the field so far, that's what he brought that in from high school. I don't think that kid has been developed one bit. If you're,
I think we lost you, Mike.
He was cooking, man. He was cooking.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. We're gonna get back to the comments. Mike, fix everything on your end. We're gonna take you off. Guys, let's get back to these comments because they're still coming in. That's pretty funny. Are we there yet? Talk about we're close. Mercy says Freeze probably already saying his goodbyes to the players. Jalen Garrett. I see people in the chat. I think Mike's jumping back on. Jalen Garrett says, who's the new coach for next season?
sorry, fellas, that the call came in. It messed it up.
Gotcha.
So you have to know this stuff. You've got to know this stuff. You've got to be in a place where you understand what's happening with your own program. And I'm not sure that anybody is in tune with what's actually happening with Auburn right now. It's very, very sad, and I feel bad for the athletes because, you know, we've got some really good guys, man. Perry Thompson, Cam Coleman, these aren't just great players. They're great people.
Mike, do you really believe that Cohen doesn't have this information?
Do I believe what? You cut out.
Some of the information about some of these stories about the players and what's going on in the program. You don't think Cohen has that intel?
No, I don't. It may be making it to his ears now because he's got to dig deeper now. He's forced to have to try to understand what's happening with the program. The results on the field have been close for so long. They've been able to just say, hey, like, you know, they've been able to say, hey, look, this is close, this is that. No, like, you know, you've got to look deeper now. You have to look deeper now. And I think that now he's being forced to take stock. So, you know, up until this point, I think the last couple of weeks it's been trickling down to him. He really likes this coach, and I appreciate John Cohen's loyalty. I really do. I appreciate his loyalty, and you know, because I just, you know, because the next guy he's going to show the same kind of loyalty. He's got to make a better decision. I don't think that, like, for everybody worried about coaches being scared off by the coaching carousel and saying, "Oh, you can't be hiring a new coach every 3 years." In this situation, I think that with the talent that Auburn had, any coach coming in is going to in the running for the job is going to understand that you can't lose all three. You can't lose all your games, and then you know what I mean, and then expect to keep your job for 3 years straight.
I think Auburn
3 straight losing seasons.
I think Auburn did very well this cycle, Mike, just because of how the support that Hugh Freeze got over this period of time. If I'm a competitive coach and I get that type of support, it's off to the races for me.
Yeah.
Right. So it's more to it than you just fired a coach after 3 years. It was after you gave him everything he asked for.
Right.
So if I'm a head coach, I'm like, if they give me that, and I know what I can do, I know I'm trying to prove myself, This is an attractive job.
It is. It is a very attractive job. So I think that my phone is going nuts right now. Like, people are so disappointed. They are so disappointed in these results, and all these kids are better than this. They're better. They're better than the results that they're producing right now. But it's a flaw. It's a very flawed process and a flawed system. Now, I told y'all he explained putting Jackson in at the end of the game. They went back to Ashton Daniels for the final drive. Y'all notice how few down the field shots they took tonight?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even give the receivers a chance to affect this game. And I think they maybe had like 2 red zone trips. It may have been 1. I gotta look at the stats broadcast, but they barely sniffed scoring. This was a beatable Kentucky defense.
They've been giving up 30-plus points in SEC play.
Yeah. They're second worst scoring defense in the league. And you couldn't score a touchdown versus them. That's not about talent. That's about system. That's about preparation. That's on you. There's absolutely nobody to blame for that result.
Yeah.
So the way I see it, you got to, again, but what changes are being made? What changes are being made? After Texas A&M, I was like, somebody's got to be fired. You got to fire somebody. Nobody was fired. So I don't know, man. Like, if he makes it to Monday, and I'm saying Monday because that's the press conference, I don't even know what you tell people on Monday. I legit, we were looking at each other in the press room and we're like, what do we ask him? We saw it. I don't really have any questions. It sucks. The girl who asked the question about scoring touchdowns, I almost LOL'd out loud, literally, in the press room. She was like, Coach, touchdowns are how you win games. How are you going to score more? I know the funniest question I've ever heard anybody ask at a press conference. He talked about the quarterback getting rid of the ball and all this other stuff, but ultimately, guys, this is just bad. Auburn deserves better. The fans deserve better. I can't tell you, man, that the stands were packed tonight. They were packed. It was an awesome environment. You've got massive scoreboards. You've got screaming fans. You had perfect weather. You've got a beautiful field. You had all the ingredients, man, but you didn't have a game plan offensively to win this one, and it was sad. So I'm gonna let y'all get to the rest of this. I just wanted to pop back in and kind of give the rest of my download on this one. I see there's still over 1,600 people watching this. I hope that people will hang with us for the rest of the season. Last year it felt like fans checked out. It really felt like fans checked out around this time when it became apparent that Auburn wasn't even going to make a bowl game. They have an opportunity to do that. They need to win 2 out of the last 3 to get to a bowl. And, like I said, you've got to, if you're Cohen, you got to do something. Because I think they all think that losing Hugh Freeze means losing these recruits. And I'm telling you, offensively, a lot of these guys are already out mentally. But they're going to keep playing hard because you need that tape if you're going to hit the transfer portal. Nobody wants a player that quits, no matter how bad it is. So they're going to keep playing until the end. But he can't get them across the finish line. I think a lot of them are starting to realize that. Anyway, fellas, I'm going to get to the house. I appreciate y'all. War Eagle.
War Eagle, man. Be safe. All right, y'all. Let's get back to it. Still got 30 super chats. People got things they want to talk about. Chase says Hugh heard Kiffin wanted Florida and said to himself, I can get back to Ole Miss. I only tout my success every presser.
He ain't going back to Ole Miss. That's funny.
No, buddy.
They ain't having that.
Some Ole Miss fans tried to warn us about old Hugh. Scotty Carroll says Durkin for head boss. I just, yeah, I like what Durkin has done. I just think what happened at Maryland, his time there, kind of still weighs on people's minds there.
You asked me some names, and like I just kind of threw out the names that were on the top of my head because I haven't really sat down yet and thought about it. But I can tell you, I can confidently tell you is what the requirements for the next Auburn head coach should be. The guy before Hugh talked a good game, but didn't actually walk the walk. And Hugh doesn't even really talk a good game. Most of the time he talks, I'm like, wait, what'd you say? We need somebody to come in here that is like a winner for real. Not just a snake oil salesman, not somebody that can say the right things. No, actually means it. A guy that, and they do the $1 million people, the people in charge of this whole thing, they're the ones that do the interview process. They're the one that vet the hires. So get it right. Find a freaking dog, man. Because this loser mentality that has poisoned this Auburn program is not going to be fixed with some just ho-hum, all shucks guy. It's not. It's so far gone the wrong way. Everything about Auburn football inside that building, not the fans, but and not the players individually, but when they put on those uniforms and they take the field, it's loser shit. It just is. Look, he's a freshman. I'm not attacking him individually, but of course Auburn intercepts the ball to give himself a chance and then fumbles it right back on the same play. Of course, that's Auburn football, baby. That's Auburn football. That's how we do. We'll find a way to do the goofiest thing you've seen all day watching college ball, and we'll lose. Auburn needs a dog, man. DJ Durkin, Summerall, whoever it is. Names, whatever. I got requirements. It's got to be somebody that can flip this culture around and knows how to win games and quit making excuses. The time for making excuses on the plains has got to be done. The next guy's got to understand what this job is, what the standard is, and actually have a plan. And in his heart of hearts, don't want to go golfing or don't want to stay home and hit the workout bench in the garage. And his heart of hearts, he's got to want to sleep in that facility and actually turn Auburn football around, man. We need somebody that actually wants this job and understands what it requires.
Who enjoys working in February.
Likes the grind. Like
you know what I'm saying?
Who what Auburn is and says, I can get this right and actually wants to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm with you. Amen to that. Amen to that.
Agree.
Harold Greer says Auburn basketball had a great exhibition game. No, nothing. Got it. Got it. That's fine. Felix the Cat says too many coaches fired, so we are screwed. So he's concerned about the fact that other major programs are looking for a head coach.
Man, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
It doesn't matter, man.
You're screwed. You're screwed if you keep this guy.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. You got to be able to. If you want to act like you're the 13th winningest program in college football, then act like the 13th winningest program in college football. Act like it. Go out and swing for the fences and go get a proven, recent, relevant coach that has recent, relevant success, that has processes, standards, and wants to build a culture that has gone where you're trying to get to. That's just how I see it.
Yeah.
Start acting like the 13th winningest program in college football.
NH3425 says no Gus or Arkansas State connections. Next head coach, get it done. Ben Bloodworth says, remember when Freeze was hired and he joked about having his social media taken away from him? There were no signs. Yeah. I really thought this guy wanted this. I really thought this guy wanted back in the SEC to you know what I mean?
I thought we were getting the Bruce Pearl redemption story.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Maybe
Everyone
it would have
loves
been
the
successful,
comeback
but I thought
story.
he was going to give us that energy. Like when Bruce took the job, you knew like he was coming to prove everybody wrong. He was showing, I got this. Watch this. I'm still the man. I thought maybe that it wasn't going to be as successful as Bruce was at Auburn, but I thought you were going to get that energy from Hugh. And it's just been, well, I don't know from the beginning.
And I went back and just looked at losing streaks that Hugh has had.
Oh, Lord.
Hugh Freeze, in 8 of 13 seasons, he's had a losing streak of 3 games or more.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not good, guys. He's just not, and I, I had to do. I had to pull a Cohen. I had to start doing some research after the fact, right? Because I'm thinking, what happened to this offensive-minded guy? And this guy was doing stuff like this every year. There's an inexplicable loss. An inexplicable loss.
Yep.
Like, you win a game and you're like, okay, all right. Get the next dub here. We're on track to get to a boom. New Mexico State. Boom. Cal. Boom. Kentucky. Like there's always this loss. There's like you're just perplexed at how could you do that? How could you do that? How do you do that? And he's done that throughout his coaching career. This is how a person who beats Nick Saban doesn't even sniff the SEC championship. Because it's Jekyll and Hyde with his teams. You look like you turn the corner and then you just slip further into the abyss. Definitely not Cohen's burner. Says maybe Auburn football is the friends we made along the way. I don't know what that means. Y'all don't either.
Gotcha. No, I don't. I was trying to catch the reference. I don't get it.
Okay. Sorry there. Mercy says the offense might not score another touchdown for the remainder of the season.
Very plausible. Very plausible idea.
Definitely ain't scoring next week. Goodness gracious. No, I know that much. Goodness. Benji says, God, I miss Braden Smith.
Oh, man.
Oh, Drago. The Drago days.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Justin Wardan Brown says Cohen needs to listen to Nike and just do it. I hear you. Adeed says we are close, everyone. Give Freeze a chance at 4-5. Said no one ever. 4-5 in year 3. Kelvin Cunningham says just let Albie coach at this point.
I'm pretty sure we'll win. I'm pretty sure we would have won that game.
Or at least scored.
Yeah.
B Will's forehead says I made a whole Fubo TV account for that. Yeah.
Like I was thinking about that during the game. I was like, I actually would rather be watching that Tennessee-Oklahoma game than be stuck watching this ridiculous shit.
Yeah. It's bad.
Man 256 says Coach Hugh Freeze calling plays for Madden 95. Somebody said, I think I saw a comment. Someone's like, man, I've seen more elaborate offenses out of Tecmo Bowl.
That's wild. That's wild. Is it Madden 95 on like the Nintendo 64 where you got to take the cartridge out to blow it?
Yeah.
Put it back in, and then press the button to start.
Yeah.
Man, that's what this offense looked like. It looked just like that.
Bad.
Unfortunately.
Bad. Black Wing says I like Golish. He's attention to detail. Okay.
I want to ask a question, if you don't mind me asking.
What you got?
Here's a question I want to ask. We talk about a lot of up and coming guys. Like when you ask the question about what coach would I be interested in having come to Auburn to be the guy. I have been, if you've watched anything on our platform, I have been the biggest Marcus Freeman fan that there is that will come to Auburn.
Okay,
that's who I've been. And like I stated before, if you are the 13th win in this program in college football, if you consider yourself to be on that stage, on that plateau of those college football programs, why not go out and get a guy that has been where you're trying to get to, that has shown recent relevant success in trying to get and taking a team to the spot where you're trying to go? Why not go shoot for those type of guys? Because for some reason we don't have a problem with going out looking for the up and coming G5 coaches. We have no problem with that. We don't mind having guys come out and try to get things rolling. Let's see what this guy can do. Why don't we go get somebody that's proven? Somebody that has the proven system that has worked wherever he's been. Whether he was a defensive coordinator, now he's the head coach. Why don't we go find somebody with that proven system that can come here, implement it, and just watch Auburn just succeed? I don't understand it. I don't understand it whatsoever. But if you want to ask somebody that's realistic, maybe Ryan Silverman from Memphis. Maybe he would be a good pick. Maybe he can come in and bring Auburn back to the days of 8-5 and 9-4 and things and stuff of that nature. I just have a very high. I just think so highly of Auburn because I just have a very high standard of what I think Auburn could be. That I just think that we're better than just 8-4, 9-3. I think we're just better than that.
That's what got Gus canned, right? Those statements and the mediocrity that Auburn began to fall into. Didn't realize you was falling off of a cliff after that. But I agree with you.
It was going to go this way, though. That's always my pushback. I know we don't want to go down that road, but like I think it was going to inevitably. Like, what did Gus do post Auburn? You know, it's not like he went out there and killed it. It was probably going in a bad direction anyway.
Sure,
it's a great point.
Sure, you're not, because his offense had gone incredibly stale, and he was having great first drives. And then nothing, right? So yeah. I mean, no, I was yelling, cut the check on Gus as well. I was over Gus as well. It's insane. This got so bad. This is just bad. It ain't like it was bad for the longest, but we were sold snake oil that year 3 was the magical year, and no, not at all. Eric Morris, Dustin Pace says Eric Morris is easily the best candidate in my opinion. I love to hear who the fans want, but at the end of the day,
it doesn't matter.
Fans don't hire coaches.
We don't.
Fans don't hire coaches. Definitely not Cohen's burner. Says regarding available head coach options, there are now fewer coaches willing to take this job.
Based off of what? What's that based off of?
I don't know. No, someone will definitely take this job. It's about getting the right person, but there are people who will take this job. Luke Duke says Gruden, another Gruden guy. Adeet says, what do y'all think about our DJ as head coach and then going and get an OC? I don't know if the decision makers like DJ. Because it'll make sense for him to at least audition, right? See how he does.
Here's my rebuttal to that. If you were to make Coach DJ Durkin the head coach, who would be his defense coordinator? And in that vein, if he's the defensive coordinator and now he's the head coach and he has those head coach responsibilities, will he even be able to be in the room doing the defensive meetings and being in there when it's time to implement plans? Because that's the problem we have now with the so-called quarterback guru and the so-called offensive genius we have as head coach right now. Yeah. He's not even in the room. He's doing other head coaching stuff. So if you hire him as the DC, if you hire him as the head coach, what's to say the responsibilities of being the head coach at Auburn University is going to allow him to be in the room to game plan for teams, and the defense will look the way it looks now.
Yeah.
Who would you hire as the defensive coordinator? That would be my question.
Yeah, and also him being 10-15 as a head coach, that doesn't mean he wouldn't be a good coach now, but I don't think that Auburn is in a position, I think we can all agree Auburn's probably the lowest it's ever been in its 100+ years of playing football. I don't think when you're in that position, you can risk going and getting a guy that was 10-15 as a head coach and making him the guy. If it doesn't work, people are going to look at you like, what were you doing?
This is after Hugh Freeze, who came after Harsin. Yeah. I'm with you.
It's just like DJ might be great, but it's like,
well, here's the best rebuttal for DJ. Who's calling for him to be their head coach right now?
Yeah.
Who's even talking about DJ as a possible head coaching candidate? Ohio State tried to steal him away as a defensive coordinator. But who's calling? Who has DJ in their top 3 list for head coach?
Somebody came and made Charles Kelly a head coach before DJ Durkin.
Very true.
You know what I mean? So that would be my that would be my pushback for DJ. But again, I'm not mad with making him an interim. I'm really not. You can go get who you want afterwards. Let's see here. NH3425 says Crane just said he's fired per source he knows. Take it for what it's worth. I don't see us. I really don't realistically see. Maybe Dr. Strange sees one scenario where he's still the head coach past tomorrow, but I don't see it, guys. Jalen Garrett says Brian Hartline, DJ Durkin, Joe Brady, Cliff, Alex, Matt Patricia. Naming a lot of pro guys there in Ohio State OC. Dustin Pace says Cohen is about to earn a buyout too. Ridiculous. Yeah, this is a very, now if anyone has some pressure on them, it's Cohen. It's Cohen. The decision to move on from Freeze and get the next guy, this is it. This is an important hire for you. Tristan Pace says Super Saiyan Mike goes hard. G Curry says because Mike's on a heater. Yeah, he was turned. Mario Netto says my dog preaching. NH34 says Mike for new head coach of AU. Dustin Pace says I've been waiting for this, Mike. Sadly, it was inevitable. This coach is such a POS for more reasons than I could ever imagine. Hugh equals coward. G Curry says all-time rent. Fire Freeze. Haven't seen Fire Freeze in here. Says hearing your name chanted in Jordan here is a lifetime achievement.
Shout out to Fire Freeze.
I love you guys. You guys are so amazing, man. Thank you for making me laugh tonight. Tiffany B. Tim Simp says I need a classic B Will rant. He's gonna rant in a comment in the chat. But B Will's been off this boat for a minute. She comes back and says the players I heard on the post-game show talked about getting back to it on Sunday, but Coach Hugh Freeze still talking about getting back to it on Monday.
I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but there is a screenshot circulating on social media right now.
I saw it too.
Tea time tomorrow.
At 1:30.
I saw it too.
Under his wife's name.
Tristan Pace says KU just had more length and okay. All right. Okay.
Bro, our O-line got mauled. Like, our O-line got mauled tonight, man. Like, we're talking about the future and everything like that, but like our O-line got their ass kicked for 4 quarters.
Tristan saying anybody has more length and girth up front is wild. Okay, just FYI. Thanks for the comment, though. Bob from Pike Road says this is the worst 5+ year stretch in AU football history since 1952, 73 years ago. Freeze must be fired tonight. Antonio Smith says we don't need any rewashed SEC coaches. Not mad at that. Harold Greer, we hired one 3 years ago. Harold Greer says, guys, we'll be here to listen to your rants. Good work, and sorry you have to cover this garbage. We're Eagle and see you next Saturday. Thanks for hanging out with us, Harold. Appreciate you. Tiffany says maybe Kentucky keeps Stoops now. Maybe. Who knows? Cozy says, can we stop with the Gruden talk already? This guy has not done anything relevant in football in 2 decades. Stop it. Kind of with you, Cozy. I'm just want someone to tell me why that hire makes sense. Lisa Y says no DJ 10 and 15 in Maryland. We cannot do head coaching development. I hear you, Lisa. Dealing with Dylan says go Big Blue. Congratulations to you, I guess. Tiffany says K Ivy, make your move, Meemaw. Dealing with Dylan says look like an old school Stoops defense tonight.
Well, Auburn's offense makes any defense look like that.
Yeah, like Auburn stops themselves. Like you really don't have to stop Auburn. Not this version of Auburn. We'll do it.
I think Kentucky in the second half was like, hey, if we score this touchdown right here, we don't have to worry about anything because we know they're not gonna score.
And they were right.
It was like, yeah, we don't even have to try to score 17. We'll be good. We'll be all right.
Listen, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. It's getting late. Last words, Dustin, and I'll let you go, Nick.
Yeah, join me and Nick tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Central Time, on the Uptempo podcast. Hopefully, we don't really have to talk about this game. Hopefully, we have some breaking news to discuss. But yeah, man, I hate where we're at. Auburn fans deserve better. We all know that. And I think that tomorrow we'll all be going live and talking about a new interim head coach at Auburn, and then we'll have to start really coming up with some answers when people ask us who's our hot board, who do we want, because those discussions are going to start happening here very soon. It's embarrassing. I saw what happened to Tennessee and just didn't think that Auburn would ever be in that same boat, but here we are, kind of wandering through the wilderness. We're in the darkness right now, but the one thing I will say is, and this transfer portal era, man, and this NIL era, and this new structure of college football, if you get the right guy and you have your ducks in a row behind the scenes, you can get it moving in the right direction quickly. Is everything perfect behind the scenes at Auburn? Probably not. But like I said earlier, it's not LSU either. And I don't buy into this fact or this storyline out there that Auburn, it's a bad market for head coaches. No, it's not. Like Nick said, behave like you're Auburn. Auburn needs to get back to behaving like what it is historically, a top 10, top 15 all-time college football program. You start by doing that. You start by setting that standard by, as soon as the sun comes up tomorrow, having an announcement for the Auburn fans to digest that Hugh Freeze has been removed of his duties as Auburn's head football coach, because this has been pathetic. It's been embarrassing. And the floor at Auburn has to be higher than what it is. And, listen, don't have any ill will towards Hugh Freeze, the person, but as the head coach, you got to go, man. You got to go. And it's okay, bud. Jimbo Fisher won a national championship. He was an offensive mind for a long time. Game passed him by.
Yeah.
Gus Malzahn had a nice little run. Game passed him by. You're up next. It happens. So.
Yeah. Definitely go over there and subscribe to the Uptempo podcast and check them out as they go live in the morning. You'll hear more of this, more therapy. If you need more therapy, check in with Dustin in the morning. He's going to be turned. Definitely check them out, guys. Appreciate you, Dustin.
Yes,
Anderson Sloan says, I'm really sold on Alice Golish. Another you South Florida guy. Dustin Pace says, being skinned alive is better than watching this. Yikes. Nick, talk to me, man.
Yeah, I just want to say, as an Auburn fan, this is probably the worst I've felt since 2012.
Yeah.
But I will want to say this to if Mr. Cohen is watching this, sir, you have a very influential decision to make. We hope you make the right one. It's my hope to you. I hope that you're hearing what the Auburn faithful are saying, and I hope you hear the outcry of what's coming from this, because a lot of people expect a lot out of this football team, and what they're getting from football team and the head coach right now is something that they're not proud of. They support the player, they support the kids and things of that nature, but it's hard to sit back and watch a team that's trying to give their all, but the guy that's leading them is wholly incompetent. And I'm sorry if that's too far, but yeah, I wish for Auburn to I will keep reiterating. I just wish for Auburn to act like the 13th winningest program in college football. That's what I wish for. I wish for us to be on that plateau of those schools that are in that atmosphere and that stratosphere of, you know, those programs. We just claimed all the national championships. Now let's act like it. Let's go out here and let's do it.
Great.
Part of me sits back and says, I sit back and because I know where this potentially is more than likely going. But let's go out and let's figure out what it is that this program needs. Mike G spoke about it. He said, is it an administration problem? Is there something that needs to be fixed in the administration that is seeping into all other programs? I don't know, but that's what the optics look like. The optics look like there is a problem administratively that is being sent out into all other programs. But I will still be supporting the team, but I will be critical. And I will say that this is something that is just wholly unacceptable as an Auburn fan, and something that we just do not want to see every single week. This is not something that I grew up on as an Auburn fan watching. And this is something that a lot of young Auburn fans now are potentially this is what they know. As young as 5, 6, 7 years old is what they know. And they don't know the 2004s. They don't know the 2010s and things and stuff like that. I just want us to be on a level to where we are perennially a team that is competing for college football playoff appearances and national championships and SEC championships. That's what the 13th winningest program looks like. So hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully that's where we get to. And yeah, and I appreciate you all so much for letting me sit on here with you all tonight and you know, vent a little bit. So thank you so much.
No problem, man. Tiffany says, we were there tonight. We paid too much for season tickets. We love this team and the players so much. Fire freeze. Yes, Nick, appreciate you being here with us, man. Thanks for hopping in and hanging with us. Hung out with us for a while too, man. So we appreciate y'all being on. This was a big therapy session. We appreciate y'all. I know it's getting late. We're getting ready to drop. But Nick, you got any lives or any shows coming up, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah, if you want to come chill with us.
Plug away.
Listen. The Woody Hayes whiteboard, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to come over there where we are, Water Cooler Talk Sports. Come check us out, man. We talk college football, SEC football, Auburn football, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Then, of course, on Saturdays, we go live for live streaming the game as well. So check us out, Water Cooler Talk Sports over there as well. I will be on with Dustin. I'm on with Dustin every Sunday morning over on the Up Tempo podcast. So, man, check us out over there because I'm pretty sure we're going to be ranting over there tomorrow as well. Got to go get my thoughts together so we can get that right.
Therapy part 2 session.
Exactly.
The part 2.
That's it. That's
Okay.
it.
All
and then also, man,
right.
you can check me. You can check me out on Auburn Addicts on Sundays. Auburn Addicts TV on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central as well, man. But I appreciate you so much, man. Again, I thank you so much for letting us come over there.
Oh, man, no worries. No worries, man. We appreciate you being on. We're all one big family. Listen, guys, you know where to catch us. We will be live at 1 p.m. tomorrow, Central Standard Time. Be curious to see what we'll be discussing. But check it here. We will definitely see you guys. You have been watching our reaction show. Have a good evening. War Eagle.
War Eagle.